Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have an interesting video. This is actually on my wife's car. It's a 2005 Volkswagen Beetle convertible. So I got home and she called me. Her car don't want to start, and I have to go and pick her up. So I stopped by the shop and got the scanner, and these are all the codes that we got. So I erased the code, as you will see. Let me scroll this up. And immediately, all the rest of the codes came back. The only one that didn't come back was the immobilizer. So we have master flow sensor signal low, injector number 1, 2, and 3, and 4 shorted. We also have evap purge valve short to ground, evap leak detection pump short to ground, secondary air pump relay short to ground, and O2 sensor bank 1 sensor 2 heating circuit short to ground. So I'm like, there's a lot of components. I don't really think that this is components being bad. For me, this is either wiring or something that they got in common. So I went into Identifix and pick up the first thing that come into uh, the screen for me, which was the leak detection pump. And I pick up one of the cables, in this case, the blue yellow cable. I went up and follow it, and it goes up to pin number 3. I already got it highlighted, so you will see it on yellow. So it goes from 3 to the next diagram. So we have the number 3 right here. It has a splice. It goes up to these relays, which I will come back in a second. And then it goes down to pin number 19. So we got to go back to the previous diagram. And then 19, which is right there, it goes down into a splice, and then it feeds the evap canister purge valve, master flow, and oxygen sensors. So I'm like, okay, that is looking like something interesting. So I went again. It goes into the next diagram into pin 20, or whatever the diagram calls 20, and it goes down in here and it's feeding the secondary air pump injection relay. So this is definitely a common denominator. So going back to that fuse, it's fuse 43, and as you can see, we have fuse 48, sorry, 28, which fits the fuel pump. Obviously, the car is not starting, the fuel pump is not spinning. We have another fuse in here, which I will go in a second. I wanted to go to follow this blue wire, which is pin 2 on the diagram. So let's go up to the previous diagram and again. And then all that power is coming from the relay, the fuel pump relay. So the power comes from there. Well, it's actually getting from this fuse 50 amps in here, which I have to check. But so we have either a problem with the relay or with this main fuse. The only thing we still don't have is the injectors on this common problem. So I went and looked for injectors. We have the injectors in here. Obviously, the signal is not going to be shared. The only thing that's going to be shared is going to be the power, which is in this case the red violet. So I follow that wire, and it goes into pin 1 right here on this diagram. So we have to go to the upper one, and it's pin 1, which I have highlighted, goes to those same fuses, which are being fed by that blue wire that comes from that fuel pump relay. So my theory here is that we have a problem with the fuel pump relay or that 50 amp fuse. But still, we have to see what the controls in here, because I have seen some of these Volkswagens that if the switch on the door it doesn't close, the relay doesn't get the ground, and then it's a problem. By looking at this one, we can see that it uses a ground right in the steering column, We have another fuse in here, which is being fed by the fuse panel behind, blah, blah, blah. It comes, so I lost the wire. Let me highlight it. So it's this one, goes 14. Let's see where 14 goes. Goes down here, goes into pin 22. Trying to follow this one just to like get more indicators. And that one comes from the engine control module, which is, I have communication, so I doubt that's the issue. So going back into that relay, relay, we have two other signals, which is actually three signals that I have to check. But again, my main goal tomorrow, without making this too long, is checking this power. Make sure the relay is being activated. If it's not activated, then I have to check the signals. Otherwise, if we have activation, check that fuse 2, which is a 50 amps, and that's going to feed everything. But most likely, knowing these cars, relays are very often the problem. So again, let's take a look at that theory on the work tomorrow when I actually put my hands on the car. So this will be something interesting, and I think that shows also how you can do diagnosis without even touching the car. So this is what I usually do. I stop, think, do homework, and then fix the car. So let's see tomorrow how this goes.